Let's get down, motherfucker, get down.
What's good, Instagram Live? How's everybody doing? All right. What's up, YouTube Live? I got YouTube Live and Instagram Live right now going simultaneously. And let me turn this down. All right, just waiting for a few more people to get in here. And what's up, everybody? What's up, Bubbly? What's up, Falcon? What's up, Falcon? JM Brewster. What's up? Megan Fly, how you doing? Let's see. We're gonna bring in Logan Rhett Morton right now. Let's see if he comes in. There he is.
My brother.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
We're doing it.
I see you keeping the vibe.
We're doing it. You know, I had to set the tone for the greatness that's about to happen.
I love that, man. I love that.
First of all, how's your day going?
Good, man. Good, dude. Just getting started the week. I love to start off with that episode, man.
Yeah, man. Fire. Yeah, man. Thank you. Well, you know, it happens to be a collaboration between us two, and I always told you, man, that we just put. I know it's a little crazy that I'm always trying to film everything, but there's a reason, obviously, behind it. And look at what we produce with the content that we have from just us being us, and then it turns into something. It turns into something concrete, you know.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. How much fun was that too? Like, even just being there, it was just a blast, dude. It felt like I was being trained to do all my own stunts, you know?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's what we're doing it for, and just for fun and release. And, you know, we went to Tempest a couple of times. For everybody that's just joining us live, Logan and I went to Tempest Free Running Academy numerous of times. And I just kept an iPhone close and a couple iPhones. And from every angle, we tried to score it. And when did we go? When was the last time we went? 2019?
Yeah, man. I think it was like the end of the year last year. So that's some back footage, but I'm glad it finally got cut together.
Yeah, man. I mean, I had my long hair. I had the long hair then too, and yeah, man. So I hope people aren't thrown off by that. But you know, the reason why I created the Hunt for Hector was to inspire. I wanted to put myself in a really vulnerable place with my followers. Yes. And with my network. And you know, someone once told me, and we've talked about this a bunch of times, shout out to Garland Hunt, one of our brothers and mentors. He always said, you know, document as much as you can and be as real and authentic as you can. And you know, sometimes it takes a little time to get there, but I'm just so happy that it's better late than never, you know?
Well, that's what people want, man. People want, you know, especially as an artist, dude, they just want a real piece of your heart. And so, like, the more authentic and real that we can get, the better, dude. That's ultimately what
absolutely
attractive to people, you know.
And for those of you that are just joining us, this is Logan Rhett Morton, one of my close and good friends, one of my closest friends. Sure. We've had a friendship for over 6 years now.
Yeah, man. Shit, I've been in LA. Dude, this will be in April. Will be 10.
10 years, man.
Crazy. It'll be a decade. And so, and yeah, we met within 6 months. So, dude, so we've known each other 9 years. Come on.
Oh shoot, man. I'm a. You know what? It's just been such a wild ride. and we've done so much together. We've overcome a lot. We've seen each other grow. We have a great network of friends. You know, me, you, Bobby, and Bobby. I mean, by Robert Scott Wilson, another one of our good friends. You know, he made the collaboration totally happen. And as far as friendship, and we've held on to that friendship for quite some time. And we've had ups and downs, but just more ups and more, like, you know, true friendship and meant, like, everybody has been there and mentoring each other and been a real friend, you know. And sometimes, especially in the entertainment industry that we're in, we need that more than anything. It's just a solid group of individuals that believe in us, that we believe in, that there's no competition. The only competition is really with ourselves. And we all three, including Garland 4, understand that. And it's just been an awesome journey to not only be your friend, but also just in the later years continue to collaborate on an artist level and just keep pushing our artistic agenda to the masses.
Yeah, we always knew that was coming, man. Like the collaboration is always, I mean, shit, we're all artists, right? And we're all in this thing together. So it was only a matter of time before we worked on something together.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
But the seed of it is the friendship and the brotherhood. Yep. And, you know, we're lucky. Honestly, we're lucky, man, because I see people come and go from the industry, come and go from LA. And the number one factor, if they bounce out here, is because they didn't have a good friend group. And so we've been really blessed. We've been really fortunate. So I'm very thankful.
Absolutely. And speaking of collaboration, thank you everybody for joining us again. For everybody that's just joining us now, Logan Rhett Martin is a special guest here. He's also a special guest in episode 2 of The Hunt for Hector. You guys can go to my YouTube channel and check our new episode out. Also, speaking of collaboration, recently Logan and I and Brian Burkhart and Robert Scott Wilson, Jess Mesa, Andrus, and the list goes on with the project that we produced called Ecstasy Outlaws. It's a crime drama, a period piece that takes place in the 80s. I play Carl, and who do you play? Dave, Big Dave. Big Dave. And Ecstasy Outlaws, for everybody that's just joining us, is a project that we've always wanted to collaborate, get on film together, and we finally had the means to do so. Thank you to Brian Burkhart for sharing his original story with us, based on a true story and true events that happened in the 1980s about how ecstasy came into pop culture in the 1980s. And it's a group of con artists and that spend their lives getting through lives conning and always looking for the next come up. And it was just a cool script to just be a part of, as well as just a fun ride, original piece that was offered to us to shoot. And we did it. We did it in a year's time. Yeah. And yeah, so tell me, how was your experience shooting Ecstasy Outlaws?
Dude, that was huge, because I saw you. I mean, listen, we've been actors our entire time of being here, but we have been coming into this new stage of taking control and producing and being on that side of things. And so to see you bust your ass, take hold and do that project, you know, you were obviously the lead actor in it, but to produce that thing was super inspiring, man. And I saw how hard you worked on it. I saw all the effort you put in. And I just saw what it took. And I didn't realize that how much it was going to help me just 6 months down the line on another project that I ended up producing. And so,
what's the name of that project?
That's called Getaway, and that'll be out very soon. we're coming up on the finishing touches of it. But no, man, it was working on Ecstasy Outlaws was it was like the first step in a dream come true, man. Like me, you, and Bob getting to work on that together. It was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible because, like I said earlier, we've almost been friends for a decade now, and that was like the first thing that we've actually really got to work on together. So it was awesome, and the fact that you put it together, and you know, Brian's script, Brian's true story, you know, but to see you bring all that together, because you were the linchpin in that whole thing, man. You were the one that brought it together. You were the connection from Brian, who you just had met randomly, you know, a divine appointment.
Divine appointment. Thank God for LA and for other artists just trying to find starving artists trying to find that work, man. We're always trying to find that work and something substantial, you know?
Yes. Yeah. And for us to be able to do that, regardless of, obviously we shot the proof of concept, and, we're trying to get that turned into an actual series and continue to go, which would be incredible.
Of course, because that means the longevity that we get to work together every day. There's nothing more beautiful than getting up in the morning and not only doing what you love, but doing what you love with the people that you love. That's right. But, a big lesson for me lately, man, has been just relinquishing control of that kind of thing. And we did it. We learned a lot of great lessons from it. As far as just relationship goes and our relationship with the industry goes, and how you worked really hard on that thing. And I remember by the end of it, you were losing your voice just from being up late, being up early, working all day, acting, producing. But how tired really were you, Because you get a deep well of energy. Absolutely, man. Preach, bro. Yeah, as soon as you start putting that stuff in motion, all of a sudden you stumble on this well of energy that you don't even realize you had. And why? It's because you're following your heart. It's because you're doing your passions, because you're living it out. And so that was super inspiring to see. And this goes for everybody else. Don't downplay your dreams or anything that your goals, your manifestations, because just a thought, a thought is powerful enough, but when you turn it into something concrete and you make it something that's actually real and tangible, you will get other people that believe in you. And when you believe in it enough and you grind on it, I don't even like using the word grind, but when you grind on it and you really manifest it and you put your whole energy into it, as well as like you want to see everybody around you succeed, it's just a more powerful collaboration, because you're not in it for yourself. You're not in it for yourself. And we are in a very fictitious and selfish industry, because it's a dog-eat-dog world. And especially now more than ever, where we need more peace and love than ever. So it's like, when you put that type of energy out there, people recognize it and want to just be a part of it, even if it's not their idea, even if it's not their goal. They just see you, so they know, they latch on, and they want to see it succeed so bad. It almost gives them like a fuel of inspiration to do their own goals and their own dreams and their own manifestations. Yeah, and so you realize it's rare. It's never about the outcome of things, man. Like regardless if this project goes 7 seasons on FX, whatever, it's more so about the lessons that we've already learned by doing it, and what we've taught ourselves, and what we've taught, our circle, and the people that we affected, even just those 3 days on set, Yep. And Logan, where are you from? I know, but for the people that don't know. From Michigan, man. Born in Texas, raised in the old Midwest, Michigan. Awesome. And small town, big town? Rural, very rural. I might have to look that word up, man. You're throwing too many big words at me, and a real small town called Battle Creek, Serious City, a little actually even outside Battle Creek, but yeah, man, very much the small town Midwest boy. Awesome, man. And for those of you that don't know and never Googled my name to look at my bio, I was born here in New Haven, Connecticut, but I was raised in Florida, also a small town named Winter Springs. Like Logan, I don't come from an entertainment background or an artist family, but the seed was definitely planted somehow, some way, through growing up as a kid and knowing that I was different, and also accepting the fact that I was different and I wanted something different other than, you never forget where you come from. That's a big thing that I've learned as well. Just don't forget where you come from and pay homage. But as well as like when you are destined for greatness and you just go for it. You go for it. You turn the wheels and just keep it pushing. And so yeah, man, that's a common thread too with you and I, and also with Rob. We keep referencing Rob like he's there. Rob Wilson.
It's because one of our best friends, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And but there's a common thread there, and that's like none of us have entertainment backgrounds at all, and so we're truly like paving the way, and like a big part of a big part of my intention in this life, just to get real, is paving the way for future generations. Like we can often tell how much maybe not easier, but how like further along and how many steps you get to jump if you do have a bit of nepotism going on, like a bit of somebody in the industry that you knew or like could guide you or offer you some assistance. And I say how fortunate we are to have our brotherhood, which we very much are. But that's the thing, none of us had anything as far as the entertainment industry, and that goes for Garland too. Actually, now that I think about it,
yep,
he was involved at a young age. Like he was I think he was into acting and like into commercial stuff and theater. I think he was coming out here back and forth from Georgia.
But he was doing that on his own, right?
He was doing that on his own. Yeah, that's right. And so nothing in his family either. So
yeah,
man, that's interesting to think about.
Yeah, man, and that goes for anybody else, all of our listeners that are here and live with us. When you have a dream or you have a goal, do your best to go for it. I know it's cliche to say, but definitely do the steps ordered to get to where you need to be, or to get just, it seems like, we're a lot of us are on a pursuit of either happiness or just finding, life is a mystery. Life is just such a mystery. And that's why, I had a great conversation with one of my girlfriends, and I was telling her, we were talking about visiting a sidekick, and that's something I've always been against, just because I was raised in the church and I have a really great connection with God and the Holy Spirit. And so I just, I think that's to any psychics out there, anybody that's a psychic, I'm not, or a prophet, I'm not dimming your light in any way, shape, or form, because I believe there are those type of people. But there's a mystery to life, and I think that mystery is just a sort of fuel as well. Like, why would you want someone to tell you the end result when life is just chaotic and crazy? But also, the mystery is what keeps us going. You never know what's happening. You never know what's gonna happen, and it's almost like cheating yourself if you went this. And again, I'm not against anybody going to see a psychic or whatever you need to help you out, yourself out. But try to hold on to that mystery of what life brings, because even though it's uncertain, especially now more than ever with COVID, the racial injustice, the police brutality, and everything else that's happening in the world, the sadness that's going on, we need to be more uplifted than normal, especially the people like us that want to put out art, that want to make people feel good, that want to that envision a better life for themselves and their coming generations. And go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say back to what you were saying earlier about like just going for what you want, man. One of my favorite books, dude, The Alchemist, which is a lot.
I'm so glad we're going here.
It does, and it's that way for a reason. But one of the things in there is like, when you feel something in your heart, you go for it. The universe conspires to help you out, and man, it couldn't really be more indicative of that with like. Day one in LA, I meet like my friend group for the rest of my time here. I meet Rob, who already knew you, and so like that right there is proof that it's like I moved here not knowing a single soul, not knowing anyone.
Here by what do you mean by here?
LA. Los
Angeles, huh?
Yes, to Los Angeles. Moved here, didn't know anyone, and day one, I mean, my boy on Craigslist. Places, so random. And he already had known you. You guys had worked on didn't y'all work on a?
We worked on there was an Armenian artist, a pop artist that was shooting a music video, and we both got casted as extras to shoot this Armenian music video. And Rob and I just connected, and we just looked at each other. Hey, did we just become best friends? And Rob, like us, moved out there not knowing a lot of anybody, and the steps were ordered by God and divine. And when Rob and I became friends, I introduced him to my manager that was helping me push my career, my first manager. And that manager helped him get into the industry and just not only just get in, but explode into his and that seed. It got watered in a way that is just like, I'm so proud and honored to not only be Rob's friend, but just to see the growth in him. And he's just always been somebody that has been really resilient. Luck, as well as studying the craft, resilience, and this brotherhood that you're talking about, that friendship, that it helped us both. And it's just it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah, man. I there's no way I could have went through this whole time here without my brothers. So
absolutely. Like the I've been this way a lot in life, and I get upset, and I get angry, and I get into a place where I don't understand. Sometimes I don't want to say I suffer anxiety, but sometimes I get depressed because I'm an artist, and things happen, and you're trying your best to just chip away at putting yourself out there, and we've just been we're living proof that we're living the dream, in a way. Like I always tell you this, we're living the dream in a way that we get to just produce content, elevate ourselves, our knowledge, and our respect for the craft of acting, the respect for the craft of writing, the respect for craft of camaraderie. And you learn more lessons as you go along. I haven't always been the most business savvy. This is a business. The entertainment industry is a business. And so when you can combine a really great businessman with a really passionate artist, that combination right there alone could just literally set you free, as well as fuel you to get through the worst hurdles that there are in this industry. And just in life, because like you said, 10 years it took us, almost, or what, like 8-9 years it took us to get a project together that we wanted to do, that we were all emotionally, physically, and mentally available, and we did it. We finally did it. But all that time, that 10-year expansion, that 10 years that we had together, the 7 years, the years don't matter, but it's been a long time. We've been working on ourselves. We've just been living life in LA, trial and error. You and I have not always agreed, but I can tell you one thing is that you and I have a special relationship, as far as I know that there is nothing that holds you back for you to ever tell me that I'm wrong.
Yeah. Right.
And that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me because, people will smile in your face, and people will encourage your ass forever. But when somebody takes the time to tell you, hey, this needs, you need to fix this, or, where's your heart at, or how are you feeling? What's really going on? Or what, you shouldn't be doing that. That goes a long way. Those are real friends. Those are real tangible friends that just want nothing from you but to purely see you succeed.
Yeah, and that's tough, man. Those hard conversations too, man. It's not easy.
No, not at all.
Especially at that's how somebody's a real friend, when they can just speak into your life and be like, "Hey, I'm seeing this thing. This is uncomfortable to bring up, but X, Y, Z, and I'm seeing it. So, what you gonna do?" Yep. It's not easy, but yeah, man. You usually can count friends on one hand, and that's just kind of how it goes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially now more than ever, when we're forced to be social distancing and to be at a safe distance because of COVID, and just because of just being as sanitized and clean as possible. It's hard to now more than ever to connect. And I know that there's people out there depressed because of it. I know that there's people out there that are not feeling their self. And I want you guys to know, everybody out there that's listening, whoever's in this chat right now on YouTube and on Instagram, that you're not alone. You are not alone. Yes, Logan and I are actors, and we're in the entertainment industry, and we're but it has nothing to do with being higher or anything more than anybody else. We just love art more than a lot of people, and just want to share it, and want to do it, and it's not easy because there is just so many people that feel the same way, that want to release,
Yeah.
whatever they have inside, and they deserve it. I can't stand TikTok, but that has created a freaking wave for young individuals to collaborate, to like just put themselves out there, to like and to monetize on it. And that's in a way I'm so happy that that's out there, that there are avenues for people that are from hometowns like us, that are from small towns like us, that get a chance to just give them, when we first got to LA, there was really no Instagram, there really was no TikTok, there was just literally grinding, going to auditions, headshots, and living in LA and trial and error. We're at a day and age where you don't have to be in LA or Los Angeles or Paris to be a successful artist. You could be anywhere in the world and be a successful artist just by using your faith and using your freaking phone.
Yeah, it's that point, like, to be vulnerable is everything, as an artist. And it's an interesting, like, paradox, because it's tough, because the essence of art is like seeing somebody be vulnerable and putting it out there for people to see. Yeah, it hurts, it hurts when you feel judged, and especially if you feel judged in a negative way. So yeah, man. The more we can just continue to do that and continue to do it fearlessly, the better.
Absolutely. So what else is going on? Tell us more about you.
Dude, so it's funny you bring up all the social media stuff. I was watching that documentary last night, Social Dilemma. Did you watch that yet on Netflix?
Nope.
Oh man, that it is interesting times we live in, man. Like, just the whole social media thing, what we're kind of being manipulated in a small way, in a large way. But we really have to be diligent and like hone our powers of discernment to know what is right and wrong, to know what we're being kind of subconsciously fed, and stand in that power to say, like, no, I'm not gonna consume this candy just because it's being tossed at me. I'm gonna put down my phone. I'm gonna put down this device and just take a moment. I don't need to be sold anything right now. And these companies are kind of preying on that idea that humans are very much, humans like candy. I say candy, what I mean, like, I mean like the quick fix. I mean like the likes. I mean like the quick funny videos, the TikTok and stuff like that. We consume that stuff so quickly, and it can be like an endless loop if you let it be. So
of course,
our powers of discernment need to be honed more than ever. So
absolutely, I agree with you, man. You're one of the wisest people I know, but I know it comes from experience. I know it comes from your research and where you've gone as not only a man, but as just as a creator and an artist. And for people that are just joining us again, if you're just joining us, I'm here live again with Logan Rhett Martin, one of my closest friends. He's an artist, actor, producer, and writer. Someone I respect a lot. Someone that has given me a home. Somebody that has been a real friend. And if you guys ever need AC or a Samsung flat screen TV and to watch The Boys on, then
that's right.
Speaking of the boys.
Did you watch that recent episode?
Yes, man, I watched it.
I didn't get to see the newest one. I watched the first 3. So I guess it's been getting like rough reviews, the second season.
It's still certified fresh. Shout out to Naz Perez. I love Naz Perez. She's one of my favorite interviewers at Rotten Tomatoes. I've been trying to get her to review Ecstasy Outlaws, but yeah, man, they're still certified fresh. It's just like you're really getting in deep with these characters. And if you guys are just joining us, we're talking about The Boys TV show on Amazon Prime that's produced by Seth Rogen and his people, right? And
it is actually,
yeah. And so it's something that Logan and I love a lot because I come from playing a superhero background, the Green Ranger on a Power Ranger Samurai, and so it's just cool to see this side of superheroes. This side of a comic book that is just totally bizarre, totally what would you call it? Gruesome and gritty, but it's very meaty. It's very meaty, and the storyline is very relevant for things that are happening right now in today's society. So if anybody that hasn't watched it, go watch The Boys. It's a great episode. I mean, great season 1 and 2, and then hopefully by season 3, if Ecstasy Outlaws doesn't take off, Logan Rhett Martin and Hector David Jr. are gonna be the villains of season 3.
Come on. Let's go.
Put it into existence. Put it in there.
Yeah, man. They started doing the recap of the season 1, and I was like, oh my gosh, for how good the show was. So yeah, I love that. That. Yeah, man. We watched we done binge the whole season. I think when you were like in between places, you were crashing with me for a little bit.
Yep.
And yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. And what else? You know what? While we're at it and we're at a stop, let's just take some questions, some random questions. If you guys here that are listening to Logan and I, if you guys have any questions for us, we're pretty open, and we'll take this next 2 minutes, 3 minutes to just answer some questions on the live and see what's going on. We got someone saying he's fine as fuck. That's definitely for Logan.
I gotta say though, too, this whole quarantine, this whole lockdown, it's kind of been tough as actors, as an artist. If sorry, I was looking at your friend's question there. There's been like a lot of a lapse of anything to do, and so I'm super proud of you, man, for putting together these episodes. It's Hunt for Hector. I think it's so cool.
Thank you, man.
It's so cool to just be like, you know what? There's nothing going on. There's no acting work. There's no productions. Nothing's really happening. What can I do? And that's ultimately what we have to do as people, but especially as artists, man. Anytime that we can take the power back, anytime that we can put things into our own hands, and that's what's been a huge lesson for me over the past year and a half. I mean, shoot, when did we shoot Ecstasy Outlaws? It was a year and a half ago, right?
Yeah, it was last April.
Last April. And so, yeah, that kicked off a whole journey of being like, okay, I'm seeing my brother produce something, something from script to screen, and we did it. Okay, that was super empowering, right? Then you saw like, oh, okay, this is not just out of our reach. We don't have to just be these actors for hire. We can take things in our own hands and do that. And some people know this by our age, but everybody's on their own journey, on their own path.
Of course.
And so during this time to take the footage you got, and I saw some in that episode 1. You had some cool drone footage. I don't know how you did that, but
shout out to my cousin Carlos Mateo. He got a DJI drone, and it really set off the hunt for Hector. He was gracious enough to lend a couple of drones and shoot and to get better at his dronage, if that's a word, but to and believed in me, and that's really like the fuel as much as all the content that I've had from all the years that I'm excited to put out. Can't wait to put out episode 3. But why I wanted to pivot for us to be on episode 2 was because I just want people to know that that what I'm doing and why I created the Hunt for Hector wasn't a sole purpose of me to just put out content. It is a channel for people to get inspired, to get motivated, to just feel something. That's why I put in those inspirational texts from people like Les Brown or Eric, the guy that I love following on Instagram, and a bunch of motivational speakers, because that has a lot to do with the fuel that I get from doing what I do. I get fuel from just being motivated. Yes, a lot comes from me, and I have energy like an Energizer bunny, but and that's just natural. But I get fueled from inspiration and going out there and doing something. Going out there and dance is a big part of my background. DJing, acting, and I just wanted to find a home, and a really solid home, and a consistency of just sharing, that power, that knowledge, and that expression of art. And I hope that even if I just inspire one or two people, that then I'm doing my job. I'm doing the job that I know that I'm able to do with the limited resources of not being able to go onto a set right now because of the COVID and things just being uncertain. So like you said, it just takes, getting into that business mode, putting out and being consistent, putting out that content and sharing it, and not caring what others are going to think, but just caring that you're going to leave a sense of inspiration for others to gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And the more you can put out your true heart, put out your vulnerable self, the better. I saw some stuff going around recently about Dak Prescott. How do you see the whole thing with Skip Bayless? How he was like, "Oh, he doesn't get to be emotionally downtrodden. He's the quarterback of the Cowboys," and people jumped on him for sure, which rightfully so. And that's the whole thing. It's like, dude, if we can't be vulnerable, and I think the stigma is going away with men being vulnerable. But if we can't do that, what are we even doing?
Of course.
We have to, because that only so you just continue to swallow it and build it up until it becomes an explosion. No, that's not what we want.
There has to be a mix between the masculinity and the vulnerability. There has to be, especially now more than ever, because there's young men and young women out there being raised by single parents. There's young men and young women being raised by both parents that aren't the best role models for them. And there's people out there that are being raised by one or two parents that are giving them everything they got, giving them the best life. And we just want to cater to all of them, to all the people, to the single parent kids, to the full family kids, to anybody out there that needs a little sense of inspiration during this time. That's why I'm putting it out. And there's been plenty of times I've sat here and I'm like, what am I doing it for? What am I doing it for? And I just get reminded that, through my DMs and through the comments and through the fans and everybody else just sending great response. It helps keep that consistency alive. That it has to be out on Monday. I'm gonna put this out for as long as I can until I go to season 2, and just create some really great content, as well as just that level of inspiration that we all need right now.
And again, you can see throughout the process of doing this, and now you're on episode 3, just put out 2 today. It's not about the outcome.
Nope.
It don't matter, man. It's about what you did during it and what you've been teaching yourself through the process of just doing this.
Absolutely.
Working on it. Finding out what in yourself is the passion that you're igniting, is the love that you're igniting. And then you put it out there. People like it, cool. If not, it's all good. I did it for myself.
Yep.
And to serve people.
Yep.
Not just to serve yourself. Not what I'm saying, but to enrich yourself. To honor yourself. Of
course, keep yourself accountable. Keep yourself accountable, because there are people that need us. I need, as much as, we, again, that masculinity kicks in and we're like, we don't need anybody. We can do it ourselves. That's the wrong formula. It's never works. I would like you to go and research a billionaire or a millionaire or somebody of any level of success, somebody like Tyler Perry, Mark Wahlberg, Tom Hanks, any of these big heavy hitters that are in the entertainment industry. I would like you to go back and research what it took for them to get to where they are. It wasn't literally by themselves. Yes, it was a different world when they got famous or when they got to notoriety. It was a different world then. But you know, we got to accept the terms of the way that life is going, and there you go. There you go. That's the birth of the hunt for Hector. Is that we're acclimating ourselves to what is the now, what people want and what people need, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And each new little project is it's another lesson that we're gonna learn about ourselves, and hopefully bring good energy to people. And that's what it's about, man.
Absolutely. So on this last couple minutes, I'm here with special guest Logan Rhett Martin. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, man. I love you with all my heart. I'm so proud of you, and everything that you're doing in your personal life and in your creative life. But let's take 2 or 3, 4 questions before we head out. We've been here for 45 minutes. I love the fact that we really had a great interview. But let's, yeah, man, time flies by when you're putting out good shit and having a good time.
I love it.
So anybody, please feel free to type in a question, and we'll do our best to get you an answer.
This is the first time I've done one of these. This is awesome, actually.
Yeah, man, you got the background set. You're really well lit. It's lit.
Come on now.
Are you still friends with the cast of Power Rangers? Yes, I'm still friends with the cast of Power Rangers, and I've shared them with my other friends like Logan, and we've all collaborated and have spent time together with Naj and Alex and Steven. Yep. So, yes. How have you been dealing with COVID? You go ahead.
Back to what we were saying earlier, man. Taking the power back. There hasn't been any acting work at all during COVID. Obviously, no productions are going. I got with my producing partner back in March, coincidentally, right when this thing happened, and was already kind of like looking for the next project because we were in post production on our what we shot late last year, and I've been writing my ass off for the last 6 months. So yeah, we're on like a second draft of a script, and that has been super empowering for me because I always kind of wrote a little bit. I didn't really consider myself a writer, but now I know it's like fully a part of my destiny. Like, okay, I gotta be writing. I gotta be writing. I feel very empowered just by doing it. Again, it's not about the outcome. Even if nothing even happens from this script, I taught myself so much about who I am as an artist. I learned so many different facets about who I am just by taking those steps. Just by not saying, oh, COVID's happened. Oh, we're on lockdown. I can't do anything. Oh, I'm powerless. It's like, no, what can I do? And so yeah, I've just been writing.
Awesome, man. And I've just been running. I've been working out, stimulating my mind and getting as sharp as I can, just as far as fitness and mental health, keeping myself just occupied, finding things to do, and I'm just doing them. So that's how I've been dealing with COVID, and thank God to my family and to my friends for just holding me accountable and keeping me sharp because, you got to keep your tools in the shed really sharp for when you need them.
I will say, too, for anyone out there who's like, oh, great, these guys are doing stuff. No, I'm not. Okay, listen. The entire month of April, I mean, I was writing still, but, like, I damn near didn't do hardly anything.
Yeah, man. I can
relate. That was kind of like the first time in my life where it was definitely the first time since I've been in LA that I didn't have, 2 jobs and wasn't working all the time. So I was like, I really leaned into being lazy. And I didn't, and the gyms were closed. I barely worked out. Luckily, I got over the course of a couple months after lockdown, I had gotten lucky with a couple of like home workout stuff. Shout out to On It. But but no, like I had never really been that like lazy, and so I just was like, this is like the one time in my life I'm just gonna lean into it, and who knows, maybe in the future. But yeah, April was like barely worked out, played a ton of video games, just kind of chilled, and then I got sick of it. I was like, I don't want to just chill anymore. So I kind of just, there's something, and this is just me personally, not everybody's like this, but I burn myself out on things. And so I just really leaned into not doing a whole lot. And again, I just got sick of it, and I was like, okay, it's time to start busting ass again.
There's another really great question that just came up. What do you do to deal with the mental health because of the world being at such a crazy place politically, racially, and just everything above? I think for me, just being the best version of myself, continue, like, even on my hard days, just trying to go a little the extra mile to be kind to somebody. I think kindness goes a long way. If you have no money to give or you have no time to give to anybody, kindness goes a long way. So if you can, and being a service, I've never once had a bad time where I was helping somebody out, even if the person wasn't thankful, even if the person wasn't gracious. It's tough, but you get a lot of gratification by serving and helping others. That's how I deal with my mental health, and it's not always easy. I had times this year alone, and a lot of times in my life where I was angry, was pissed off at the world, trying to figure my life out, and I've made a lot of mistakes, burned a lot of bridges, but bridges can be rebuilt. Forgiveness is a real thing. And if you're true to yourself and you're earnest and you're honest, I think that goes a long way with a step towards good mental health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something social media, and like specifically Facebook, I feel like is pretty political. And I feel like telling people all the time, like, you are more than your political views. You just see, like, somebody puts out a political view, regardless of what side it's on, and then somebody else hops on it because they don't agree. And it's like, if that person never even said something about the political, you wouldn't even think about that for them. Like, who cares? Just keep that in mind. This person that you're thinking about yelling at, they are more than their political affiliation and their political view. It's a small sliver of who somebody, the makeup of the entirety of somebody. So, like, don't let that, that stuff divide. Love people. Just love people, man.
Yeah,
just love people.
Well, I love you, man. I love you, and I thank you for taking the time out of your day to connect with me on this level. We connect in our own way and FaceTime, and we try to keep each other on track. But this was a beautiful experience for you and I to just share and be open and leave a space for people to come in and ask questions, as well as just listen to where my heart is, where your heart is, and where our passions lie. And once again, I want to thank you to my special guest and my good friend, one of my best friends in life, Logan Rhett Martin, for just being the man that you are and being vulnerable and opening up yourself to my network and from me to your network. And just thanks again, man. Thanks again. I hope you guys here on Instagram Live and on YouTube Live appreciated it. I know that this just made me feel great. I'm going to have to go hit a sunset hike out here or something, just to live, to get this good energy into a good place. But once again, Logan, man, I love you and I appreciate you and I'm proud of you. And thank you for joining me and my fans and my family and my friends to share your experience.
Anytime, bro. Let's do it again. This is fun, man.
Yeah, man. It's like a little therapy session, but also,
I love it. I can do this once a week, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bud. Well, thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. You guys can find Logan Rhett Martin at Logan R. Martin. That's at Logan R. Martin. You can find me at, it's really The Hunt for me, but it's at Heck David Jr. Please go check out our video, The Hunt for Hector Episode 2 on YouTube right now. It's live, ready for you to enjoy. Go get some inspiration. Go get some fuel. And much love, everybody. We really appreciate you guys listening to us, and good energy to you guys. Much light, and have a great rest of your week.
Okay. Peace out, brother.
All right, buddy. Take it easy, man. Love you.
Later.
All right. And thank you, YouTube Live. Much love. I forgot that I was doing YouTube too. Thank you guys.